Hey guys, so now what we're going to do in this lecture is actually create the database tables so that a blog application can store data that requires it needs. Alright, so I'm coming here and I'm going to create open the SQL, MySQL command line client, and here I'm going to give my password. Yeah. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create the database. Create database. The database name will be blog_db. Okay. So now we need to use this. Use blog_db. Yeah. And now let's go ahead and create the table. So create table, and my first table, we're going to actually have two tables. The first one will be user, because we need to let the users create accounts for themselves, and then the first one will be the user_id. We are going to give a user ID for him, and it will be of data type integer. And one of the feature that we're going to introduce here is auto increment. All right, we're going to say auto_increment. Why is this necessary? Because we are going to create users and giving IDs for them. So this is not going to be in the hands of users while creating it, nor in our hand. But we're gonna make it automatic, because the database will populate some integer value for this in an increment basis, so that every user will be uniquely identified. Alright, so the first user will have 1, and the next will be 2, the next will be 3. We don't have to be bothered by that. Alright, so by doing this, we can actually let the database create the ID, as well as we can identify the user by uniquely. Alright, so after this, give him a way to actually give the first name, and it will be varchar, and the size will be 20, and then we are going to actually take the last name, and then the type will be varchar 20 of size, and then we are going to ask for username. This is different from first and last name. This will be unique as well. If you have already used some websites, you can actually understand why this needs to be unique to identify the user. Although we have also given user ID and username as well, these both will stand unique, while user_ID will be handled for more like internal purposes for our use. Username will be able to handle on the user side. Alright, and now we are going to ask for the email, and this will be unique too. Varchar 30, and we're going to say unique. Okay, now we're going to ask for password, and this will be of varchar 100. And now let's specify the primary key. Although all of them are unique, we need to give only one primary key. The primary key will be user_ID. Now, yeah, the table has been created. So after this, what else we've got? We need to actually create another table for the blog posts. So let's go ahead and do that. Create now table blog, and the first one will be blog_ID, and it will be integer, and we're also doing the auto_increment. And then the title of the blog, varchar of 100, and then the author and varchar of 40, and then the body of the of our blog post, varchar of 1000, because body will be much longer. And then we are going to give the primary key, and this will be blog_ID. Now go ahead and save it. Yeah, now we have completely created both tables that we need for our database, and with this we can actually head to the next step.